So here we go. I've put a three-bladed prop on the Raptor now, and it takes off much easier. I was having a lot of trouble getting it moving until I did that, but she gets off fairly quickly now, so long as you don't put in too much throttle. So after the last trip, when I ran out of video trying to get to the top of the mountain, I thought I would fly off in a different direction because maybe the microwave tower on the top of the mountain is knocking out the video. So I'm heading for the saddle here. I'm not sure exactly how far away it is because I haven't checked it on the Google Earth, and I'm not real sure of the height, so I'm starting off fairly low, and I'm thinking maybe 300 or 400 meters should do it. The sun's fairly low. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's giving the camera quite a orangey tinge and not letting me see a lot of detail, but we'll see how we go. Just coming up on our neighbouring farmer's homestead. I'm pretty pleased with the power that the new prop's using. It seems to be happy to cruise along at about 5 amps, which should give me plenty of battery life. I'm starting to put a little bit of elevator in, so the current draw is going up. That's in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. You can see it's gone from 5 up to about 7 or 8. I'm doing a bit of a circuit to get up to a decent altitude, so I'm turning back towards the saddle now, and I'm at 400 meters, and I don't think that's going to be enough either, so I'm getting a little bit of video breakup, and as I said, the light doesn't seem to be really showing up a lot of detail on the ground, so we'll see what happens when we turn around. It looks like I'm going to have to put another 100 meters or so on top of it to get over the top of the saddle. So 600 meters should be the go, I think. As you can see, the sun's quite prominent there, and it's makes the screen quite dark. It's quite a long valley that goes up to the north there. I'll have to think about exploring that a bit once I get the video sorted out. But yeah, we're sort of up on top of the saddle now. I'm a bit disappointed. The video is breaking up and coming good. It might be alignment of the antenna, but yeah, it's certainly not as clear as I'd hoped. So I decided to, I'm not seeing a lot of detail, I decided I might as well head out to the Mount Tennant again and see how I go coming at it from a different direction. I'm losing video on the turn, but I believe that's fairly normal. So I'm 2.5, well, just over 2 kilometres away from home. The video looks pretty good at this point, so I'm heading for the mountain, and from my last experience I want to have about 900 metres to be sure of getting over the top without hitting the trees this time. So I'll have to do a couple of circuits just to gain the altitude. So the current draw's going up to about 10 amps, which isn't surprising given the altitude and the angle of attack. But I'm getting close now, and the old video is starting to break up again, so it's a little bit of a disappointment, but I'll persist because I'm high enough, I'm certain this time. So I'm still seeing enough just to keep going. It's come good there for some reason. I don't know whether I've flown into the beam of the antenna or not, but it gives me enough to line up on the towers on the top of the mountain. So I've got fingers crossed that I might actually be able to get there and do a circuit. So I'm at about 3.5 Ks now, and the video is starting to get pretty grainy. Certainly when I turn, it does. So I turn away and I decide to put the plane into loiter mode. It'll do about a 500 metre diameter circle, and decide to have a play with the antenna to see if I can improve the picture. So I'm in loiter mode now, so it'll just keep doing this right hand circle until I tell it to stop. So the video is dropping in and out, but I'm moving the antenna around, and I think I'm hitting a bit of a sweet spot. But it isn't consistent. It seems to fly in and out of it, and it's certainly not giving me the confidence to put it back in manual mode and try and fly around on the glasses. It's just not good enough. So it's hard to say what the actual range is. It seems to be okay at 3.5 kilometres, just for a very narrow window. So I'm just not going to be able to align the antenna that accurately. So I'm thinking it's either going to have to be an antenna tracker, or I'm going to need a different style of antenna. But either way, I think I've given it a fair enough go for the day, and decide I might as well bring it home. So I switch it into return to home mode, and I'm still getting enough video to actually see the mode change on the screen. So I'm pretty happy once I see it, the RTH come up on the screen. So at this point I've turned the motor off, and it's just gliding back, so it's trying to maintain its altitude, and it's making it bump up and down, but I figure, you know, it's looking after itself. I don't have to do anything to it at all. The only problem is it just doesn't lose the altitude fast enough, so by the time I'm a kilometre from home, I'm still at 600 metres, and I have to put it into manual mode and basically dive at the ground to lose the speed, which is what I've done here. So I'm coming up on the field about half a kilometre away. I'm starting to think I've got to start spotting it, so I put it in the loiter again down at about 150 metres, and it circles around, and I take the goggles off, and I don't have too much trouble spotting it because I'm flying with Clem, who's able to point it out to me. He spotted it before I took the goggles off. So here we are coming in for a landing. It's on the glide again, and I think I've got plenty of speed, but as it turns out I drift a bit right at the end of the approach, and it just starts dropping like a stone. I think I'm going to go in the dam, so I blip the motor to get me over it, and that gives me a bit of a swoop, and I come down fairly quick, and it just levels off just before it hits the ground. So another crap landing. Of course the camera doesn't have any audio, so I'll just have to remember what Clem's comments were. I can't actually give you them exactly, but I'm sure it was something along these lines. But anyway, I'm happy to get it down, and I've looking at getting another antenna rather than the antenna tracker, so hopefully the next one I'll be able to get out past the 4 kilometres.